So we're back, it's Border Adventures time. We have got lots to catch you up on. We have played through the winter break. We've got another transfer window under our belts. We've seen some departures. We've got some arrivals through the door as well. We are going well in the league. We're going to bring you up to date with all of the fixtures since the winter break. But tonight, we've got a second leg Europa League knockout game against Monaco. So it's Luzerne versus Monaco. It's the first knockout round of the Europa League. Let's catch you up on everything that's happened since the last episode. So when we last saw you, we were securing safe passage through to the knockout phases of the Europa League by drawing away in Turkey against Galatasaray. But then we had a few little stutters on our way into the winter break. So after beating Lausanne 2-0, with a couple of early Garrincha goals, we could only muster a 0-0 draw against Thun. We were defeated against Young Boys with Garrincha on the score sheet again. Unsurprisingly, we weren't able to top our Europa League group as we lost at home to Manchester United. And we picked up slightly by beating Zurich 2-0 in the last game before Christmas with Garrincha and Harak scoring the goals. We then jetted off to Turkey for a winter training camp, and since we've arrived back, well, our form in both the league and in Europe has been pretty impressive. We got a 2-1 victory against Basel with Garrincha on the score sheet again. We beat Servette 5-0. They had a sending off and we scored a few late goals, including ones from Koufre, who has settled in pretty nicely. We then won 4-0 against Sion. We managed to beat St. Gallen by the same scoreline as well before going out to Monaco and Garrincha sealing a hat-trick. All the goals coming in the second half, which was enough to give us a 3-1 victory. The game that we played in between the first leg and tonight's encounter was a 3-0 victory against bottom of the table Grasshoppers. We rested a few of our big names, but Koufre and Bob were still on the score sheet, giving us a 3-0 victory. Let's show you the transfers that have taken place as well. So, we have made the signing of Garrincha permanent. He was on loan, but we have managed to scrape together the £12.5 million needed to make his signing permanent. And I think with 11 goals in 15 games during his loan spell and 3 in 4 appearances since signing on the dotted line, I think that is a signing that we desperately needed following the sale of Petrelli. We've also brought in a couple of new loan players who aren't registered in time for the Europa League, but we have Daniel Gasopo, who despite his exotic sounding name is an English centre-half who will give us a little bit of cover there. And we also have Henk de Bruyne, who has come in on loan from PSV Eindhoven, probably not a starter, but just someone who's there as an attacking midfielder in case of injuries, because we have let go a couple of attacking midfielders. So in order to raise the money we needed to bring Garrincha through the door permanently, Theo, who has been moaning for over a year now about his lack of game time, well, he has now moved to China for a shade over £6 million. We've also let go of the winger, John Yeboah, whose contract was up at the end of the season and teams could have signed on a pre-contract deal, but we managed to sell him to St. Pauli of Hamburg for just over £500,000. And then the player who we weren't desperate to let go was Jonathan Carmona, but a big offer came in from Valencia, although perhaps not as big as his value, might show that he's actually worth. But he had been sulking ever since the other big names left during the summer, and his performances had not been great in all honesty. And we do, of course, have the player Cairo as our attacking midfielder now, who has been in resplendent form since we got back from the winter break. So let's get out there for the action against Monaco. Monaco are going to need a 3-goal swing, considering the away goals that we scored out in the Principality last week, although they have got some pretty big names still knocking around in their squad. So not out of the realms of possibility that they might be able to do something against us tonight. We cannot allow complacency to undo all of our good work. It's stressed out one of them. Let's hope the others take that advice on board, and we are underway. I think if we can get a goal, I think we might be into the next round of the knockout phases. But if Monaco get a first half goal, well, then the tie is back up for grabs, I think. What have we got? Llama, who is now the captain of the team. He seems to have settled on a personality and is also one of our most important players, along with that young chap Garrincha, named after the Brazilian wizard of dribble himself. Except our one doesn't have one leg 6 centimetres longer than another, but he's still a pretty good dribbler. Monaco are offside, and yet Garrincha has been in absolutely superb form, both during his loan spell and since we made that deal permanent. So he looks like he could be the next player that is going to experience an increase in ability, an increase in value, and the board are probably going to look to flog pretty soon after they start getting offers from bigger European clubs. But whilst he is ours, we are going to enjoy the threat that he poses in an attacking sense. He's got acceleration of 19 and pace of 16, but it doesn't help us defend at the last post where wind breezes in and fires a header home. So we said a first goal for Monaco puts the tie back in the balance, and that is exactly what they have come up with. As we are beaten, Prieto doesn't even leave the ground at the back post, and I think we're going to have to demand more of them early, because now Monaco are only 2 goals away from going through. Tuttling into half-time, and we have got a highlight. Are we going to ship a second goal, or can we get ourselves back on top in the tie? There's the Otter, who has been immense again. And the Bobster, there you go, restores a little bit of respectability to the scoreline. Puts us 4-2 on aggregate in the lead. 3 goals now from Monaco would force extra time and would mirror the scoreline that we got in the first leg. Hopefully it's not going to come to that. Hopefully that will take the wind out of their sails, no pun intended given their goal scorer, and maybe we can go and assert our dominance in the second half. When the tie against Monaco came through, it looked on paper like a tough tie, but I don't think Monaco have had the best of records over the last few years in the game, and we beat them in the French Cup when we were managing lowly Sporting Club Toulon. So we thought we might be able to do something against them. We are going to make a change. We are going to swap Coufret for Eddie Stow-Bartley for some fresh legs out on the wing. And we're going to see what happens in this highlight. Another player you might not have seen too much of is Badica. As Garrincha is offside, I think he was offside. Badica has come into the team because of suspension to Peter Wright, who normally plays as our ball-winning midfielder. But Badica is actually a youth graduate. Actually bought through a player. We've been drip feeding him into the team over the last couple of years, and we're giving him more and more game time. Might be the first player on the game we've actually managed to bring through ourselves, which would be good. There's Garrincha. Is he offside again? I think he is offside again. A couple of neat little finishes from Garrincha, showing the YouTube cameras what he can do. Both of them, he was a pace offside. Their goalie has gone all out with that strip tonight, hasn't he? Very nice. Avocado and lemon. Interesting choices. And here we go again. A goal from Monaco here is going to make a very tense little end to the game. We've looked threatening, but haven't been able to stretch our lead. What can we do here? Stow-Bartley back to Prieto. Got a bit of making up to do. Here he is. Oh, goodness me. The goalkeeper, point blank, right in front of him, has managed to tip that one wide. And Garrincha looks desperate to score tonight. He's had one key opportunity, 2 offside goals. is pulling a 6.6. Let's make another little change. We're going to do it at right back where Prieto has been struggling for fitness. We'll get Traore on instead. And we're also going to go down to balanced and start the time wasting in the 84th minute. We could do with the money from beating Monaco, but we could also do with the prestige of a little bit of a run deep into European competition, and we have done enough. That was not spectacular, but it's a nice victory, and it gets us into the next round, and we look like we're heading into the next round with teams like Austria Vienna, Midtjylland, Genk. Ajax would be a tricky tie. Porto would be nasty. Stuttgart. And PSV likewise. So there we go. We have overcome the obstacle that was AS Monaco. And we can return to a little bit of league form for a little bit. And league form is going rather nicely. So we are currently top of the table. We are a full, 9 points ahead of Young Boys, who started dropping points, having been just 3 points behind us for weeks as both teams went on a good run. They have experienced a little bit of a stuttering in their good form. We are now 9 points clear with 12 games to go. So when we come back for a next episode, it could well be exciting times. We could be on the cusp of putting together a title-winning season and going another round in European competition. If that seems like your kind of thing, then join us for the next Border Adventures. Thank you for everybody that has already subscribed to the channel. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed and this seems like your kind of adventure, well, it would be great if you could hit all the buttons down below. In the meantime, we're going to go away, play a few more games, and we're going to see you for the next round of Europe.